Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky doing another colorful video. That's right, I normally am more of a neutral kind of gal and I've been pushing myself to be a little bit more colorful because why not? Why not? Let's experiment together. I just tend to go for a more natural aesthetic, except for lip colors and clothing. But you know, I go a little bit more wild with that, but I think it's kind of fun to kind of push yourself. So one of the reasons I am pushing myself are there's some really great bright eyeshadow palettes coming out, and that excites me. You know what? I just realized I have my fan on. 1 second. I should retape this, not gonna do it. Yep, New York City, it's warm here, and cleaning my apartment, and instead of doing it, I'm doing this instead because it's more interesting. Yeah, cleaning the apartment realness right here. So, because there's so many amazing palettes coming out, colorful, fun palettes, I've decided to pick up a few. And the one that really intrigued me was Ace Beaute, I think it is. They say it on their website, and I thought it was Ace Booty, and I went, no, that's not right. It has to be Ace Beaute. Ace Beaute. Yeah. So you can definitely go check it out. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. And this is the Oceanic palette that was just released. And I'm excited by it. There's been a lot of palettes coming out with blues, greens, but not necessarily together like this. And this is the answer to all of those people looking for a blue-green palette. And here it is. Now I have swatched a few of these babies already, but I haven't really worked with them too much because I was waiting for this. So what I'm doing here is 3 looks, 1 palette, 1 neutral girl who's not used to doing bright eyeshadow looks. So this is going to be fantastic or a complete disaster. Yeah, probably the latter. So let's just jump into this. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and maybe play a little bit safe for the first round. So I'm going to go in with Seaweed, which is this beautiful color right here. And we're just going to put it into the crease. I just kind of want to start easily. Whew. And that's what I'm doing. And there was a little bit of skipping here, but that's on me maybe. I think part of it was I didn't set the eye as well as I usually do. As you can see by my look today, I'm kind of lazy. See the side, yeah, that should be a little bit better. So we're going to go back in and just go into the crease with this. So this one went on a lot better. It was because that this wasn't completely set the way that I normally do. So this goes on really nicely. I'm really liking this, except for this little edge. Again, that's my fault, not the Oceanic palette. So what I'm gonna do is go in with something a little bit brighter. I know everybody's like, wow, you went in with that one? Yes, I did, because I'm experimenting. So I kind of want to use Turtle, which is this color here. It's kind of giving me subculture flashbacks, and not necessarily in a good way, because that teal was really hard to use. So I'm curious how this one is in comparison. So what I am going to do is go in with a more controlled brush like this, and just lightly dip it in there, because I have a feeling this is going to be crazy pigment. And let's see. I know I'm being very delicate with it, and I think it's always smart to do that. I rarely find a teal that isn't difficult to work with, just because I think it's just the nature of the color, and this seems to be working well. And then move it a little bit into the crease. I think the best way to go about colors like this is just to, yeah, because this definitely moves. And this was something that happened with the Subculture palette as well, is that it has this phenomenon where it moves. It just can go on forever and ever, which is great because you could definitely blend it out. But on the other hand, it can blend too much and just keep going forever and ever and ever. And this is kind of what this is doing, but I'm not minding it so much. So my advice to you is just to go in there really gently with pigment, just lightly tap it in there and then work it the way that you want it to. But I'm finding that it is a little bit hard to work with, and it is a little bit patchy. I've had issues with teals with almost every company, Subculture being the biggest disaster, and I'm finding this to be kind of the same, and it looks a little bit sloppy in its application. But I think you just have to go in really slowly and really patient. And the thing is, as somebody who doesn't do a lot of bright colors, I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do with bright colors anyway. I don't think you can just kind of wing it. When you use more neutral colors, there's not as much room for disaster as there is with this. So I'm trying to work it out a little bit to blend the edges. And I may just bring in another palette to go ahead and kind of mix that, because it's just not blending the way that I like. So just so you know, these really do stain, the brushes, and you can see it right there. I tried a couple of the colors, just messing around, and the brushes are still stained. So just know that these are no joke. So the next color that I am going to go in with is Jellyfish, which is this color here. Now, of course, you can use a brush, and a lot of people like to use brushes. I tend to use my finger. That's just how I roll. That's how I like it. And so I'm just going to put this on. And it's going in really beautifully, actually. I like this a lot. I'm trying to fix the sins of the teal. Maybe I was too ambitious too quickly, but it's, yeah, that teal was a little bit hard to work with. But again, it's something that I've seen over and over with teal, so this isn't really a surprise. This color is just going in really well. It's just really sticking to the finger. It has quite a lot of grab, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it's going on really well. Ooh, the lighting's changing. I know it's probably blowing my face out. That's what happens with it. It's really hard to get lighting in New York City. You either have none or it just doesn't work for something like this. I like natural lighting, and right now I'm probably looking really scary, so I apologize. And maybe even more so with this eye color. But yeah, so I actually think that that went on really well. That's really nice. I just... So I'm going to go in with... What is that one? I can't say this word. Anemone. I know what it is. You know what's a little fun fact about Binky? Oh, this one's actually very similar to Jellyfish. Just slightly different, but they're very similar. Fun fact about me, I cannot say many words over 3 syllables, and I've never been able to do it since I was a little kid. I know. When they were teaching me to read in kindergarten, they were like, boy, this girl. Yeah. Guess what? I never outgrew it. That or problems with spatial issues. So there you go. But it isn't that big of a difference that it's going to make, you know, blow your mind here. So what I want to do is go in, I want to pack it in just a little bit. So I'm going to use a more dense brush and go in with Turtle again, because I don't want to give up on it. I think the secret may be to just kind of pack it on and not blend it as much as I was doing. And I'm thinking that this may resolve the issue a little bit. Not necessarily the way I want to use it. I myself tend to be one of those people who likes to blend quite a bit. And I think with something like this, you want to do minimal to get the look that you want, or the intensity. I want to take this color, Algae, No Guts, No Glory, and I want to put it, help me, right here. Just a little bit, just to put it above, just to see what would happen. because I'm not really pleased with the teal. Oh wow, this one goes on really nicely actually. Okay, so I want to go back in with algae and go under the eye, just because I want to kind of pull it in together with what I did above. And it's going in, this is such a nice color. I really like this color. I don't have anything like it, and I'm just finding it to be a really fun addition to my collection. I don't know when I'd wear a color like this, but it really is quite beautiful. And it actually is easy to work with. It's not patchy. I wish I'd started with this color, but you know, I really was interested in the teal. And now I think I want to experiment with more color by taking Bora Bora, which is right here, and just popping it here into the corner of the eye, because why not? We've already made a statement piece here, so why not take it even further? It can't get more disastrous, or can it? So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put on some eyeliner and some mascara, and we'll finish up this look. Go on, date night. Yeah, so here we are. This is the first look. I don't know, it's interesting. It was the mash. It was the monster mash. That's all I could think of looking at this. I really can. It's just, it's really dramatic. I actually want to go in with Jellyfish and just match this side just a little bit, because I feel like they're a little bit off, but there's a lot of it off on this. But yeah, I think it's a fun look. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, this isn't something I would normally wear, but I actually kind of like it. I never really thought of myself wearing something like this, and so it's kind of fun. I will say it's a little bit clunky in parts, even the eyeliner, because it was really hard to see where I put my eyeliner on. There's no natural sunlight, and with, you know, with shadow this dark, it was really hard to do. But I think it's fun. I think the colors go together really well, and I really enjoyed trying these. What I will say, and I'll do a little bit of a recap at the end, I feel like Turtle was probably the hardest color to use. I think those teals in general, I mean, you can see now some of the application is quite sloppy. Yes, and I do kind of blame it on that teal. I love teals, but I've never seen one that behaves well. I just think it's one of those colors that's really hard to formulate, and it was really hard to work in here. I think the best thing to do is to pack it in, use a brush with, you know, a denser brush. There you go. And then pack it on and then move it slowly, and it's going to do more of what you want. But don't touch your eyes afterwards. Just spray them off after you're done and set those suckers, because it, you know, yeah. But I really like it. Believe it or not, I thought I would totally hate this, and I actually think it's very fun. Yeah, I keep looking at myself because I never wear colors. That's intense. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and jump into the second look. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with a more blue look. I think that's just the answer. Of course it is. So I'm going to start out with Bali, which is this color right here. And we'll see how this works. I'm not normally a blue kind of gal, but I'm not normally a green kind of gal either. And so, you know, I normally don't tend to gravitate towards colors like this. But this palette is just so beautiful that you kind of have to. So here we go. I'm going in very lightly with this because I wasn't sure how the pigment was going to be on it, and it seems to be going in quite well actually. I almost want to use a thicker brush. This one's just, it's a little bit more precise, but it's not exactly what I am looking for. So maybe I'll go in with something like this. This isn't really the type of brush that I would normally use for a look like this, but I don't really care. So I'm going to just try it because I think this is a little bit different formula than the teal one. So I just want to try a different brush. And that may be part of how to make this work, is figuring out what brush is going to work best for you, and also eye space. You know, I don't have a lot of eye space, so it's like a little bit of a guessing game. But if you are an expert with colors and you do this all the time, you probably won't be having as much problems as I am in general, because you know what to expect. Not that I'm having too many problems. I think this one's actually working quite well. I think part of it is me, just because I'm not used to it. I'm going to be honest with you. I rarely wear blues. It's just not a color that I gravitate towards. Yeah, I'm going to go in with Pacifica. I don't even know why I'm going in with that one. I don't even know. I'm afraid it's going to be the same situation as the last one a little bit, and so I just want to tap it in, because the teal, I'm kind of still a little bit scarred by that. Not that it was bad, it's just it was hard to use, and as somebody who doesn't use bright colorful eyeshadows, you know, it was a bit intimidating, and so I think that's why. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to do something different. Well, this is all different for me, but so there's Pacifica, and then I'm going to go in with Blue Clam, which is this color right here. And I'm going to put that more towards the inside of the eye. Now, I do not do colors. I don't do stuff like this, but I think it'd be a way to use a few colors and get the most out of this palette. So, here we go. Well, actually, that one works really well. I got a little bit carried away here, but I like this one actually. This one works a lot better than, not a lot better. Actually, Blue Pacific, is that what it is? Or not Blue Pacific, it is blue. It just happens to be called Pacific. Works well. It works a lot better than Turtle. It's actually easier to use. Okay, that was a lot of fun, and it does stain a little bit, just so you know. So, yeah, just a little bit. But what I'm going to do then is go in with Bora Bora, which I used in the corner of my eye last time, just because I want to, well, you know what, I almost want to try a different color shimmer in there. I don't know, it just seems kind of boring. Okay, let's go in with Mykonos. That one feels just a tad bit grainy. It does feel a little bit grainy, but whatever. It goes on really nicely though, so who cares? It's a beautiful color. I don't even know why I went with it, to be honest with you. It was calling my name. So this one is gorgeous. It does take a little bit to build up, so I do feel, God, it's a beautiful color, but it is, even with your fingers, I can imagine with the brush it would be a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit stiffer, but it is so beautiful that I just almost don't freaking care. So, a little bit drier formula in comparison to the other shimmers. Again, these do stain. They wash off from what I understand, but whatever. So now I'm going to really go in with Marina. I almost thought it said Marinara. And put that here. Really pretty, but it does take a little bit to dig in there and get it. Again, it's a little bit drier, which is interesting because the greens tend to be a little bit easier to work with as far as the shimmers. I just find these two to be really dry. But it does go. Just be patient. Don't pull on your eye. You only have one set, so be kind to them. Well, hello, Lulu. Okay, so I want to go in underneath the lash line with, I almost want Mykonos all by itself. I know, that's really boring though, isn't it? Okay, so let's go in. I love it though. Okay, you know what? No, we're going to go underneath with it because I wish it to be so. And I want to see how it works on a brush. And it doesn't pick up quite as well on the brush as I would like. It does. It's just you're really going to have to dig in there to get it to do what you want. Gorgeous color. Absolutely love it, but ooh, it's not picking up quite as well as I would like. And just because I like a little bit of fun, I'm going to go in with Fiji, and I'm going to put that into the corner of the eye because why not? I'm going to go in with the denser brush and just dig in there. I haven't used this color yet. It's not really picking up, or it is picking up, it's just not as bright as I would like. Let's try it again. It may be just it's having a hard time cleaning. There it goes. Okay. And I think part of it is there's just so much blue and green going in that it kind of, there it is. Oh, okay, that's gorgeous. It may just be going, come on. Are you freaking kidding me, lady? No. Okay, so that is quite a statement piece, isn't it? So what I am going to do is go ahead and put some mascara on and some eyeliner, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so this is the second look. Okay, you have to understand that there are going to be beautiful videos on this palette. Beautiful videos with really beautiful looks. Check them out. It's okay. You have to understand that I am bringing this in from somebody who never uses color. I do not use color except for purple here and there and pops of pink. That's just me. So, like I said, bright clothing, bright lips, don't do bright eyeshadow. So this is a whole new thing for me. So yeah, it's very different. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit sloppy in parts. So yes, so I'm going to go on to the third look, but I just kind of want to say to people out there that, especially if you're a newbie with color like I am, it's practice. Practice is going to be your best friend, and maybe using this with other neutral palettes and slowly working up to a bright, colorful look like this, because, there's a learning curve to these. But I'm going to get to that in the end. So what I'm going to do now is something a little bit random. Let's just go right off the cliff, okay? So I'm going to choose 4 random colors, and then I'm going to create an eye look. So let's give this a try. Okay, so I just finished taking that off. Let me tell you, my eyes are feeling it. Woo! So yeah, that's a lot of fun. They're watering. I should take videos of that instead. But anyway, so now I'm going to pick 4 colors because I think it's daunting enough for somebody who's not used to using color. So here we go. Let's see what the first, you know what, before I do that, let's number it this way. There's 15 in this palette. So this is going to be 1, this is going to be 15. Okay, here we go. So the first number is 12, which is 1, 2, whoops, this way you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, good. So that is one of my favorite colors. So I'm just going to put that there just so we can see what it looks like. Stains like a mofo. And then let's do the next one. It's giving me ads because that's what apps do. Number 3. 1, 2, 3, Mykonos, which I love. I actually love both these colors. So you know what? So far I'm digging this. I need something a little bit darker. Actually, I don't need anything but this palette. So then number 15, which is Lagoon. I didn't even use this one. Don't know how I feel about that. Only because those darker colors. Whew. Okay. And then lastly, number 14. Oh, really? Do I even have any shimmers? I really don't even have any shimmers. I know. Part of me wants to do it again. Can I just do it again? You're going to say no, but there's no okay. You know what? I'm not a cheater. Seagrass. What the hell kind of look am I going to get from this? I know. I'm baffled. I'm really freaking baffled. I thought this thing would be easier on me. Yeah, okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I keep saying okay. I keep telling myself that this is going to be okay. So I'm going to go in with Seagrass and just lightly go into the crease again. I know, this is very similar to what we did before. But I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. Now I'm gonna go in with algae. So that was seagrass. This is algae. I love this color, so I'm kind of glad that I got it. So, oops, I wanted to make this a little bit more docile than this, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I was gonna go in a little, I don't want to go as high as I've done in the past, so I just want to keep this an easier eye look. The other ones, I think I was experimenting and just too ambitious. Okay, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. So I want to go in with Mykonos, which is this one, which I've used before, and I love this color. So of course I'm going to use it on the lid. That's really pretty. It's such a pretty, pretty color, and I love it. You got to work it a little bit. It's a little bit stiff. It's not as creamy as I like. So just like I said, take it really easy on your eye. You don't want to. You only get one set, and I've done quite a doozy on mine today. They're feeling it. They're like, I hate you right now. That is strangely beautiful. I really don't want to bring that blue in. I really don't, because I feel like it's going to kind of ruin what I'm going for. So part of me is like, no, I don't want to do it, but okay, so let's just do just a little bit in the corner, just a very, very minimal amount, to the point where it's just, I'm doing a hint of it and just, it's just barely there, because I don't want to ruin it. I really like what's going on here, and I think I want to go for a more minimal look. And I know you're looking at this like minimal, I know, but I think this is kind of how to tame the beast, and I think this is the way to do it. And actually, I'm really liking this. And that blue is really nice. I don't know, I feel like I want to mix in a little bit of algae onto it, just to make it a little bit more cohesive. Okay, so this was a fun little experiment, actually. So those are the 4 colors that I drew randomly, and I'm actually happy with it. I think it's very workable. I'm finding the more that I work with it, the easier the palette gets. I'm just putting in a little bit more of that lagoon here. I think it works better on this side, but I think the more that you work with it and you go in gently, this isn't, you know, a palette you can just go, yeah, and throw on your face. You know, you got to have some precision and things. And once you do, you're going to succeed a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this look, and I will come back with my final thoughts. Okay, so this is the final look with the random colors that I drew, and I like it. I'm glad I tried this, because it forced me to put combinations together that I wouldn't necessarily think to put together. But here's the thing with this palette. I feel like everything can go together in this palette. Having worked with it, even like these blues, they somehow strangely work all together. And that's why I like this palette. There's been a lot of random like neutral palettes coming out with pops of green or blue, and this one just gives it to you. And because of that, there aren't a lot of, sometimes there'll be a lot of browns or orange shades for the crease color. You can use anything as a crease color. I myself tend to use neutrals. There's only one, and it's this one right here, and I think that's Seaweed, and it's gorgeous. But that's not the type of palette it is. You could, normally what I do is I'd like to take bright palettes and then create something that's very wearable. It's going to be difficult with this palette unless you use something like this, this, or this. So these 3 colors, you could make that work. But the rest of it, this isn't a docile palette, okay? This is something that you're going to want to use because of color, you know? And I think this is kind of what people have been really asking for, and they have it. I love this. I think the colors are just amazing, and it pushed me into a zone that I wouldn't normally do. And I think that's what makes this palette so special. I don't really see anything like this out on the market. And it's it's a lot of fun. I do. I really like this. I just keep staring at it because when I saw it online, I don't gravitate towards colors like this. And I saw it and I'm like, you know what? I have to have this because it's just so unique and the colors are so rich. What I will say is that online it looked a little bit more muted than it does when you actually have it in your hands. It's not that muted. We'll just put it that way. It's a lot more bright in person, which kind of shocked me because I like those muted colors. It kind of reminds me of the Melt Smoke palette in a lot of ways, except a little bit brighter. So if you like that, those kind of murky colors, then this is for you. I do love them. I don't tend to wear this a lot, but here I am. And so if you're new with color like I am, again, you gotta love it. Nice weather comes out, jerks on their bikes. Yeah. So, you know, if you're like me and you're not really into bright eye colors, because I'm not, it's just something I've slowly started getting into. If you watch any of my earlier videos, you will see I'm very much a neutral girl on the eye. This is a fun palette to experiment with, especially if you're new with color. But what I will say is that it's not for beginners. I'm not a beginner with eyeshadow, but I am a beginner when it comes to using colors. I really am, because they are a different consistency. So they're very pigmented, but they also, I find, tend to lean a little bit on the patchy side when you try to blend them. That just, I think, is what happens with a lot of dark, colorful shadows like this. So there's a little bit of a learning curve. So if you're a beginner, you may be a little bit frustrated. So go in there lightly and it's going to work with you. Don't go in there with a heavy hand because you're going to have a lot of shadow to work with and a very small space. So that's something that I learned using this today. And I think I kind of got the hang of it a little bit better by the third look. I really like this. I'm really surprised by it. I didn't think I would, and I do. I really love this look. It's kind of reminiscent of the first look, but it's a little bit more controlled, and unlike the other looks that weren't as controlled. You know, and I think part of it was I was just going full force into it, going, yeah, and it was a bit much. So go in really lightly with these. They're extremely pigmented and they are powdery, and there's a definite learning curve. As far as the shimmers, I found these two really easy to work with right here, the two greenish ones, but the blue ones and even Mykonos, which is my absolute favorite, aren't as creamy as I would like. And that's not necessarily saying it's a bad thing. They went on really well. You can see right there. It went on really well. It's beautiful. But you're going to really have to dip your finger in there, and it's a little bit dry, and so there's a little bit pull to it. And I'm used to working with shimmers that are just so nice and easy to spread on. And you're going to have to tug on your eye a little bit to get them off. They're very pigmented. They stick to your finger, and they do not want to come off. So they're a little bit drier formula. I still like them, but you know, they're just be aware of that. They're not as smooth and creamy and soft as other other shimmers that I have in my collection. If you love these type of colors, this is fun to experiment with. It's interesting because my favorite colors were these two, and these were the two that I was really intimidated by. I love this color. Algae is just absolutely amazing. I just love it, especially it works so well above the darker colors up here. It's just such a beautiful shade, and it's so unique, and I have absolutely nothing like it in my collection. It's just, it is a gorgeous color, and Mykonos here is just gorgeous, which is on my lid. It is one of the most beautiful colors that I now own, and I am just so happy with it. I think this is so beautiful. Now, if you don't want to go on with a full look like this, which I can imagine a lot of people don't, I would suggest bringing in a neutral palette and just putting pops of color here and there. You know, putting this on the lid, putting some of these colors on the lid, and then using like a brown neutral or orange or something that works for you, that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable with bright colors like this, and then build up to a full eye look. You know, it doesn't have to be one way or no way. You know, you can bring in another palette. I know some people don't like to do it, but to be honest with you, I think that is how I would use this palette, more than using it together. But as you can see, it totally works, and I keep looking at it because it's beautiful. I've never worn bright eyeshadow like this. I don't do it. and I'm absolutely intrigued by it, and I absolutely love it. I know, I keep staring at myself, and because I don't do this. So for me, I love this eye look. It's crazy. I never thought I would say this, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. But there was a learning curve, and by the third time, I started to understand how to use these. So, you know, just know that, and have a fun time with it. That's the great thing about makeup and bright colors like this. You can put them on and wash them right off. And you start all over. It's not like you're getting a tattoo on your ass. You know what I mean? And then you regret it 10 years later going, why did I let that drunken night get the best of me? Grr. So it's $38.99, just so you know, and there are deal codes out there for 10% off. There is a shipping fee. I think it was $5.95 for me. With the 10% code, I think I used Dupe That. It's not mine. I just found it online. There's plenty of codes. It didn't even... Hey, my little buddy showed up. I hope you can see her on camera. I know, your mommy's bright today. How are you doing? So, there are codes out there, but it's not even going to take the full shipping off. So you're still going to pay full price for the damn palette, so just so you know. But it's a brand new palette, and they want to make money off of it. So I get it. They do have sales. I've seen 30-40% off, so you may want to wait and pick this up. Because it's going to take time. It'll get, you know, makeup moves so quickly. In like a month, it'll be old, which is ridiculous. But whatever. So you may want to wait for that. But I think this is a fun, smart palette. It's perfect for this time of year, for spring and summer. I think you could even use it in fall and winter. You just can use these, or maybe you don't even care about season. You're like, screw that. Stick it to the man, my friend. But there's a lot of dark colors for you who like to follow the seasons, which I tend to do. And you can create looks in fall and winter. I just think it is a smart palette year round. Is it something you're going to grab every week? Probably not. So you have to weigh that out a little bit. If you're not somebody who gravitates toward this, even I'm not, I kind of want it for one of those accent pieces in my collection because I have nothing like this. But is it something I'm going to reach for more than once a month? Probably not. So it's probably going to be sitting there for a while unless you're somebody who wears colorful looks all the time. But if you work corporate, you probably don't. So I love it. In the end, I came up with eye color that I'm absolutely happy with. Let me know if you're going to pick this up, what you think of this palette. Is it tempting you? And if you'd like to see me do another random eyeshadow look with this palette, let me know because I'm willing to give it another try because I'm loving it. So yeah, I am digging this palette. So until next time, have a wonderful day, my friends. Bye.